for Mark to reconnect with his high school girlfriend?
No. No, absolutely not.
There was a text message that was sent a long time ago, and I don't recall this. This is something that my wife talked to me about, that there was an ex-girlfriend in town.
You don't recall?
I know I've put you through a lot. I want you to be there with me every step of the way.
My husband doesn't want to cut off the ties with his mom.
Hey, Mom, how are you? We have that bond that's pretty strong.
Deborah has coddled Mark. She's crippled him from being a man.
Rita feels like I'm very controlling, like he's literally attached to my bosom.
I don't want to have to pick sides.
Deborah is an active member in my relationship with my husband. It feels like a three-way marriage because they own the home that we live in, the vehicles, the insurance, his cell phone. My husband works for them.
So we're going to sub it out?
Yeah, please.
Mark is afraid to do things by himself, buying a vehicle, getting a house, paying bills.
She's jealous of my sons and my relationship. It's never gonna change.
There's a lot of responsibility being my mother's rock.
I think that Mark's like a puppet on his mother's strings. If Mark broke the hold that his mother has on him, it would crush her.
Rita is biting the hand that feeds her. I've forked out thousands of dollars to just make their life easier.
I can't continue to live life like this anymore.
I want to shake him sometimes and say, be a man. Stand up to her. Mark has to cut the cord with his mother because if something doesn't change, it is going to be the end of our marriage.
Well, the tension between these two women, well, it's just reached a breaking point. Take a look.
My wife and mother hate each other's guts and have a lot of resentment towards each other. My mother said, I hate your wife.
I know my mother-in-law hates me. She says it frequently.
This is a portfolio of my son and Rita's wedding. I replaced pictures and I took her out.
The whole family hates me.
My mother has said Rita is a downgrade.
Mark usually went for smart, witty, very attractive girls.
Anybody who knows Mark has heard about his modeling career.
I just always envisioned him with a supermodel.
Rita and I come from different sides of the tracks.
He flashed around money a lot.
Rita saw a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow with Mark.
She doesn't like that I came from a poor family.
Rita has learned how to be more of a lady, but her background, she slips back into that when she's angry.
This is where Deborah and I had our biggest confrontation. She said, you're a horrible mother, I feel sorry for your kids. I started yelling things at her. She turned around, I'll hit you right here and now. I said, please hit me. I would love to have a reason to hit you. We started to come at each other, and my husband pulled me back into the house as her husband was pulling her back.
I am afraid of her violence. I am afraid of Rita.
My mom would say things like, I would pay anything for you to leave that.
She has made him appointments with divorce lawyers.
Mark hired a divorce attorney, but I did provide the money that he needed. I have said I hate my daughter-in-law.
Okay, well, I'm here with Rita and Mark and Deb, and we have to, when there's three people, you have to have two on one side and one on the other, but I'm not sure who ought to be sitting where here. Who's the couple here?
My wife and I.
Yeah, I got you. You filled out the paperwork, but where's the closest relationship and connection here?
My wife and I have a really close relationship, but I have a special bond with my mother, and that makes it really hard for me.
Do you think that this is a good relationship?
No.
And you want her gone?
Yes.
And look, we just have to be honest here, because look, one of the things I do, one of the things that's kind of been my defined trademark way of doing things is I just cut to the chase scene. And I can only do that if people are honest. So when I ask you that, you kind of waffle, but then you gave me an honest answer, which thank you for. You want her gone, right? You want him to get rid of her, be done with her.
Yeah.
You want him to divorce her.
Yes.
You hate her?
It did not start out as hate, but
Yeah.
there's some real deep emotions, real deep cuts, and that's caused me to hate her.
Deborah would just come over unannounced. You can see her scan the room for things that are untidy or messy or dirty. Her favorite thing to criticize is the windows. She'll kind of make a sly joke. Oh, I see that the dogs have been spending a lot of time in the window, ha ha ha.
Every time I go over there, I find something to clean, and it amazes me that it hasn't been cleaned.
If some of the kids have been touching the closet doors a lot, she'll say, oh, your closet doors are looking filthy. Another one of her favorites is my pantry. You should put that cereal in a bin. If you organized your pans, you could find things so much easier and have so much more room. Your sink looks like it's hard to clean. Maybe you don't have the right cleaner. The baseboards are so dirty.
The deep cleaning, I don't believe is getting done there. Cleanliness to me is next to godliness, and she doesn't feel like it's important. She does her best, and she could go the extra mile to take care of the home that we provide for them.
Well, Deb says for 10 years she's provided a home for her son and daughter to live in. She says she has provided it. You say you earn it, you work for it. She says she's provided it. Now, her daughter-in-law Rita says that doesn't give her the right to come over whenever she wants. Take a look at this, and then we'll discuss it.
Deborah will just show up unannounced and just come in the house.
I don't go over there every day. I may see the girls once a week, maybe twice at the most.
Deborah will typically announce what she has planned for the kids.
If I could, I still want to take the girls to the carnival tomorrow night. That's fine.
That was her pretending to be considerate because you guys were here. I didn't know she was taking them to the carnival. Typically, she would say, remember, I'm taking the girls to the carnival tomorrow.
I would love to be able to come over to their house every day like I used to, unannounced. I don't think anything I've ever done is going to be good enough for Rita.
you don't want her coming over unannounced every day.
I would like a little bit of notice. I think that's common courtesy.
And I've been giving that since I found out that, our family dynamics, we've always been so close that the girls would want me there. I assumed I was welcome in their home. And obviously I'm not welcome, and she's mincing words and saying that I make statements about it being filthy.
Well,
I have never flat out said this is filthy. But if I'm over there and she's fed me dinner, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to help do the dishes.
You say this about your daughter-in-law, and you say, I just assume
Those words are
I
not,
would be welcome.
Those words were minced. I believe that a mother who has the privilege of staying home every day with their children shouldn't just constantly think that it's a sin for me to want to do extracurricular things.
But do you think, given what your involvement has been in referring to her as crazy and violent and trashy and hillbilly and losers, that she should open her home and say, oh, please come be among us. Please come be among us. I mean,
This stuff has only come out since the last couple of months, after the whole scene in the courtroom in January.
oh, I agree that I agree. But what I'm saying is, I'm wondering how you're missing the part about how that would not make somebody open their home to you every day. Because I got family, I get it. I mean, but my attitude has always been, you can call me you're going to do it long distance. Did you make an overt effort for Mark to reconnect with his high school girlfriend?
No, absolutely not.
There was a text message that was sent a long time ago, and I don't recall this. This is something that my wife talked to me about, that there was an ex-girlfriend in town.
You don't recall it?
Well, Rita says that your mother crossed the line here and tries to fix you up on dates. Take a look at what she said, and you can respond to it.
Okay.
Deborah tells Mark she wants me gone. She wants me out of his life. She doesn't think I'm smart enough for Mark. She doesn't think I'm pretty enough for Mark.
Mark's a chick magnet. He's classy.
She thinks I could do better than my wife.
He has said, I want to be greeted with a smile, dinner on the table.
She has tried to set my husband up with other women. Deb loved Mark's ex-girlfriend.
The one that was his high school sweetheart, he always said, this is the one for me. This is the one I'm going to marry.
Mark told me about getting a message from his mom to have his high school sweetheart and him reconnect that said, I know how to contact her. You should be with her. You need to call her.
With Rita, I just really felt like Mark was settling for less.
I'm his wife and I'm the mother of his children. For her to try to get him to cheat on me, it disgusts me.
Last year, Rita says Mark's mother sent her husband a text asking him to reconnect with an old high school sweetheart. And here's what it said. The ex's name is in town. I know how to contact her. You should be with her. You need to call her.
I'm completely in the dark about this. I don't
didn't send that text?
No, I've never sent it that text. Didn't know that text existed.
Did you get that text?
I did get a text, but like I said, I don't recall it as well as Rita does.
Let me just
That's
say,
going to be seared into a wife's brain. Seriously, I'm serious. That's going to be seared in. What do you want to say about that? But before you answer this question, and then I'll let you say what you want to say.
Okay.
If we're being completely honest, you would like him to hook up with like his ex. You did say you settled for less. You do want him out of this. I mean, you can quibble about whether the text message said what it said, but the truth is, all of these things that you think she is beneath him, you thought he was going to be with a supermodel, you think he settled for less, he could get a nice Christian girl, he could this, he could that. The truth is, you would love nothing better than for her to go away and him to marry somebody befitting of his value.
that's not true. That's not true. Okay, my daughter was killed in a very tragic car accident almost 4 years ago. Up until that point, this family, we played together. They were in our home having dinner. I have never, ever felt uncomfortable in her home until recently. When she started showing physical violence and really traumatizing those beautiful little innocent children, and then making stabs that I'm responsible for, and then betraying a huge confidence to try and be spiteful and vindictive and destroy my 32-year relationship with my husband. And the way I look at it, what was meant for evil was turned around for good, because my husband and I are still together, and we are all grieving. We are all still trying to heal. And I have never, ever had any person in my entire life treat me with such disrespect and unappreciation, and she feels like everything's ulterior. And you know what? If I cut that cord, they don't have a home. He doesn't have health insurance. He doesn't have a cell phone. Thousands of dollars. It's just money. I don't care. I just want my son to be happy and to not call me in the middle of the night and say, I'm miserable, Mom. I'm miserable. My son was there for me when my husband couldn't be, when Rachel passed away. And for someone to tell you during your grief that you caused that death, do you know that I forgive the young man even more than I forgive her for some of the things she's done?
This is the fourth time she's hit a child in the face.
She didn't hit
And I just found out about that. And I got on the phone and I said, listen, I've talked to you about this before. You know, I said, I am not against spanking my children. You want to swat her on the butt if she needs it? Go ahead. Don't ever hit a child in the face again. And I said, just to let you know, if you ever do, I told her she can hit that. And then after that, you're going to deal with me. Those were my words.
No.
I don't agree with that.
Thank you.
I'm a witness to that.
Thank you.
You weren't there.
No, I'm not talking about what you said. I don't agree with my daughter Mariah having physical confrontation with an 80-year-old woman. I do understand that she did get in the face. I totally agree with the favoritism in
No,
the
it's a
relationship.
poke in the cheek is different from a slap.
I don't know exactly what happened. We're getting this from
Now
a
your granddaughter's a
5-year-old.
liar.
Can you let me speak for a second? I don't respect the sense of bringing this violence towards my children. This is what I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop
Thank
what
you.
I believe is a generational curse in my family, the fighting, the constant bickering. You know, I'm kind of doing the same things that my parents do in their marriage, you know, the fighting and the problems that they've had in their marriage. I see that happening in my marriage, and I want this to stop. I want this to stop. I want to go to, I want it to be over with.
A mother's love, a father's love, family unity, all of those things are good to a degree. But there's a point at which they become dysfunctional for everybody involved.
My family is way dysfunctional.
For everybody involved. And for you, you have to look at where the children in your family are, and at some point you've got to ask yourself, what do I need to do differently that would bring about a different outcome for all of these children?
I want peace.
It's not just about what you want, and I think that you need to be willing to make some changes. You have a son here that has made some bad choices in his life, true?
Absolutely, yes. We all do.
And he's now saying, I really want to make some right choices. And you need to give him room. You need to give him space. And you too can't give her that message and then invite her back in when it's convenient for you and not when you have made some serious mistakes here. Do you agree? I mean, come on. Any parent with half a brain is going to be objecting to someone that physically attacks their children. I don't care if the children are 18, 28, 48, 58. They're not going to like somebody that's so you have to own some of this as well.
I do.
And so it's you two need to grow up, and you need to give them the chance to do it.
I
It's
want
just
to.
that simple. You need to cut it off, and you need to come over there when you're invited. And if they ask you to inspect for cleanliness, then get your white gloves on, and until such a time, you need to dummy up. You need to dummy up. Seriously, I mean, come on. This is so iconic that you have a mother-in-law that comes over and goes,
I don't do it like that.
Well, it-
Crying out loud. I
He's
mean,
literally done that on my mini blinds. Literally. Literally.
is it your daughter has allergies? Am I right? And don't you know that you were
I think
told
your key-
Let's
that?
not
Let's
even go
go-
there.
Hold on. Listen, you've got to have some insight here. You just said the key word. Your daughter. Your
My
daughter.
granddaughter.
Do you honestly not believe that this woman cares about her daughter's health?
I know she cares about my
Then
granddaughter's
what-
health.
do you think that nobody is capable of managing that but you? I said everything I've just said, and you
It's
said,
turning
but
out-
she's my granddaughter. I understand that. As a grandparent, I understand that. But you aren't respecting the boundary. You have to let them live their life. And if you don't, the bridge will be burned, and you are going to be on the outside looking in. You have to respect that.
Is it not
Deb,
fair of me to want the physical aggression to stop and her stop going into public places and hurting people?
No, what's not fair is you changing the subject in the middle of a question.
That's all I want.
To go, no, what you want is to be a right fighter and win the argument. Because what I'm talking to you about is how you need to manage this differently so you are ensured a long-term quality relationship with your grandchildren. And when you had nowhere to go, you said, well, she hits my son.
No.
You go to her Achilles heel when you get backed into a corner where you have no credible way to come back against what I'm saying. You revert back to, well, she hits my son.
After Mark's little sister Rachel died, Deb couldn't find a dress that was appropriate to put on Rachel in her coffin. Deborah mentioned to my husband, do you think Rita would be okay? Maybe we could put Rachel in her wedding dress. And I didn't even really think. I just said, okay, if that's what they want to do. Later, I was upset about it. I don't understand why she would ask that. I don't think it's normal for someone to ask that. You want to save your wedding dress to show your daughters. That was supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. I was sad that I didn't have that to hold on to.
Wow,
I never knew she felt that way. If she would have told me, Deb, no, I would have respected that. It just, to me, that was a beautiful gift from her.
I don't want to interrupt you, but they didn't show the whole playing of that.
Go ahead, fill in the blank.
What I said was, in the moment, when I didn't feel anything when the proposition was first made, because we were all grieving. I loved Rachel too. And I just, like a robot, just, was going along with everything. I didn't even think about it. And it hit me later on, months later, and I kind of had like this period of grief about it. It was sad for me. But then when I thought about it more, I dealt with it. It is what it is. And I can't judge her for that. I'm not saying that was some malicious act on your part.
It was.
I know that. And I haven't lost a child. I don't know what kind of a state I would be in if I lost one of my babies. So I don't want it to make it look like I was judging her for that choice in a negative way, because who's to say what any of us would do if we lost a child, the things that we say and do when you're in that kind of grief.
I just mentioned that to someone the other day, that what a beautiful thing for Rita to do. And if you would have told me no, I would have totally understood.
I didn't even think about it.
And I didn't even know that was a problem. I want her to recognize the deep betrayal, okay? Just how hurtful words are to me, that you've said to me, that no one's ever talked to me like that, Rita, in my entire life.
You know what's funny about that, Deb, to me, is that the words that you're talking about, you took two different conversations that we had and you morphed it into what you wanted it to be. I never said that. My exact words to you in that moment were, would you prefer that I parent my children the way that you did your children, to where they're never happy at home? I said, you have complained that you wish Rachel would have wanted to spend more time at home, and I said, you created that. She always had to be going. All of your children, they're busy, busy, busy. They have to go. They have to spend money. They have to have this and that to be happy. I want to install in my children that they can be happy being still, just being with their family. That was what I said to you. And I said you were loving Travis to death, is what I said to you. Is that you're loving your son to death in context with Travis.
Well, can I say two things here? One is, I think you got a full-time job raising your children without trying to raise hers. Okay, she doesn't need your advice on how to raise her children. So, and you're frankly not qualified to be telling her what she needs to do and not do. I, on the other hand, am qualified. So I want to say some things. And the first thing I want to say is I cannot even imagine. I just cannot even imagine the pain of losing a child in the way that you have. And I'm not, Deb, going to tell you that I know how you feel, because unless you've been there, you just can't know. And so she is permitted some hypersensitivity to whatever words you chose when you were pontificating about her parenting. I get that, and I truly am sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it's been a really rough past 3 years of our marriage.
Some days we're best friends. Other days we are constantly at each other's throats.
I have our vows that are completely torn to pieces in a fight that Rita and I had. She tore them up in a rage, said that I don't believe in any of those things anymore. Her wedding ring during a recent fight, she just set it aside. I believe it had something to do with my mother. I still wear mine. She doesn't wear hers anymore. It hurts. It doesn't make me feel like she wants to make us work.
Well, these are your wedding vows. How'd you feel the first time you read these?
Wonderful.
It looks to me like you put a lot of work, a lot of thought into this, the two of you. And now you have a little family out there in the world, and it's all coming apart.
3 wonderful daughters.
And what a beautiful family it is, by the way.
Thank you.
Y'all do make beautiful children. You know, Deb, this is their life.
I know that.
I'm going to ask you, are you willing to learn some new ways to interact with these two?
I am absolutely willing.
But you know, the past is over.
Yes, it is.
The future hasn't happened yet. The only time is right now. And you have two choices. You can keep your ticket on the bitter bus, or you can choose to forgive and have an accepting spirit going forward. You can be a powerful and deep resource for these young people, but you've got to give them a chance to find their way in this world, just like you found your way when you were young and wet behind the ears. But you know, you learn and you move on, and that becomes the glue that holds them together. They don't need you riding in on your white horse, whether they think it's a moneyed horse or an over-involved horse or whatever, and fixing everything. I'm just saying, you need to let them dictate this. It's their life, their family, their children. Let them call this, and you stay with an open heart. You don't have to say, hey, you want me to cut the cord? Then fine. And I'm cutting it all. You're gone.
But because he's a shareholder in the business, and he's a business partner.
You know this isn't about business.
No, but I'm saying that is part of, the package. Rita has talked about getting her own home. I think that would be a great idea.
We need to instill some healthy boundaries where business is. There needs to be a separation. We can't bring in the personal.
You need to come to work and do your job and go home.
That's what I would love.
It's just simple. We can start with that. And don't be passive aggressive about it. Embrace it. Say, look, I'm a willing spirit here. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Are you willing to forgive her for the things that she said or done that clearly are inappropriate? You could convict her in a court of law. There's no doubt you've got the goods. She hit your kid. She called you names. She said ugly things. There's no question that she has been inappropriate. You win. You're right. The question is, what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to forgive her.
She's not an evil psychopath. If she was, I would tell you. I would tell you, look, you're dealing with an evil psychopath here, and you need to get her out of here. And the same thing here. Look, I'm not saying that she loves in the right way, but there's no question that her intention is good. She does love her son. She does love your children.
I know.
And I promise you, if all of a sudden you were zapped off of this world, there is not a person on the globe that would stand between danger and your children more so than this woman right here. And that ought to go a long way to you, that there's somebody in this world that loves your children that much.
It is.
And you got to be willing to say, look, we're going to feel our way along here, but I have got to forgive this woman. I've got to say we're going to start fresh, and we're not going to start fresh being hypersensitive. We're going to go forward not only with forgiveness now, but a forgiving spirit. Are you going to cut and run on this marriage and family, or are you going to you're going to step up and work through this process?
I had a conversation with God about this a while ago, and I decided I'm in it, good, bad, or the ugly, and I'm leaving it in God's hands.
Well, God works in funny ways, and we're here today. What do you want to say to her?
It hurts me to see our vows like that, but I have to take responsibility for that. I wasn't a man, and I wasn't taking care of my family. I spent a lot of time and effort trying to save my, other family, my mom, their marriage, my brother. There was a lot of hurt there, and I put my family at the wayside. And my addiction, I take full responsibility for the things and what I put this marriage through, and I'm willing to stick it out. And I want her to know that I love her, and
Tell me.
I love you, and I've got your wedding ring. Rita, I love you. I know I've put you through a lot. I want you to support the direction that our family is heading. I want you to support me in church. I want you to be there with me every step of the way. Let's keep working on this. Let's stay in counseling. Let's make this work. I love you. I want to renew our vows. I want to make this marriage better, and I want you to wear this ring proudly because I do love you.
So I absolutely think this mother-in-law is extremely controlling. She controls everything about her son's life, and he's a grown man. She gave them the house, the car. She said he doesn't have a cell phone without her. He has no job, no money without her. And so she's controlling him financially and keeping him dependent on her, and also feeling entitled to control his marriage. It was really sad that her daughter passed away in a car accident. That was very unfortunate. But even if her son was there being her rock, as they said, when her husband couldn't do it, that still doesn't entitle her to completely take over her son's life and replace his wife with her. It is extremely inappropriate that she tried to convince him to cheat on his wife with his high school ex-girlfriend. That's wild. And then she claims she doesn't recall sending the message. How could you ever forget that? I think this woman does not understand or respect boundaries. What do you think about this mother-in-law? I think it's terrible that she insults her daughter-in-law, calls her unattractive, says he could do better. What is up with that? I just hope that they are able to get some help for their family and break this generational cycle that he mentioned. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Drop it in the comments.